If you are anything like me, you've seen someone doing a nice deep stretch and you think, wow, that looks like a great stretch. You go to perform it yourself and you can't even get close to that position. Well, I'm here to tell you that for some of us stiffer adults, it takes different stretching techniques to slowly chip away at the glue and to enhance some of that joint range of motion. So right now I'm going to show you some of the techniques that have been really valuable for me over the last 10 years, and I'm going to use the pancake stretch to demonstrate. So first we have the passive stretch, and this is the one that we're all familiar with. Simply sitting into a stretch and trying to relax. The benefits to passive stretching is that it's simple and it's not very taxing on your body. You can do it every day, and it teaches you how to down-regulate and relax into stretched positions. Now, the negative side is what I started this video off with. If you simply can't get into the position very well, then you're definitely going to need more active techniques to help get you there. So let's take a look at active stretching. Now, active stretching simply means you're supporting yourself in the position. A good example of this would be if you're training your front split, supporting yourself on just your feet makes that active. Now, if we let the legs and the hands come down to the ground, then we're moving more into the passive range. The same would go with the pancake stretch. If you lift your arms from the ground, we're becoming more active. While if I put my hands down on the ground, I become more passive. While in an active stretch, we generally contract our muscles and use our whole system to support ourselves in this position. If done gradually, this helps our system feel safe enough to move deeper into a position because our body can support it. So we can also use gravity or some external load to help us get deeper into the position. This is often called loaded stretching, and you can add some weight to your stretch when appropriate. And in some positions, you can manipulate your body to add more load to the stretch. A perfect example of this is in the pancake stretch. If you reach your arms out in front of you, this makes the lever longer and adds more load into your stretch. Now, in my opinion, loaded stretching could be as simple as doing various forms of squats with the intention of gaining more range of motion. I really like this method because you can make it more about performing a movement rather than actually trying to stretch muscles. Another very helpful form of stretching is the contract and relax method. In this method, we intentionally contract a muscle group to then get it to relax and allow more range of motion. So in the pancake stretch, I can contract my hamstrings by driving my heels down into the ground. I can hold that for 3 to 5 seconds, and then in theory, when I relax, my hamstrings may release and allow me to get deeper into the position. Another good example is the wall quad stretch. I can push my foot into the wall, activating my hip flexors and my quads. Then I relax, and that helps me get into that deeper hip extended position. I think contract and relax method can be really good for busting plateaus when you're having trouble getting any deeper into a stretch over a course of time. So here's an example of using a combination of both loaded stretching and contractions. Right here I'm using the butterfly stretch against the wall. You can see my first set when I first hop into it, how much range I have, and it's really, really stiff. I had been on some planes and some trains and my hips had just like really stiffened up. And then if you look here to my third set, you can see how much range I was able to add in, just maybe 15, 20 minutes. So it's very, very potent. It's not super pleasant. It takes some work. And Trevor actually made a video showing how you can use this stretch with these techniques to open up your hips. So check that video out, link in description. And another great method for squeezing out more range of motion is what I like to call pulling into position. And this can often be done with a task or a target that helps you get deeper into the position. So for example, in the pancake stretch, you can place something just out of your reach, and then each rep, you're going to really try to touch that thing. And if you can touch it, you want to push it further. This naturally helps pull you deeper into your pancake stretch. In the wall quad stretch, you can aim to get your head back to the wall, pulling you deeper into the position. And if you're sitting in a deep squat, you can try to squeeze your hamstring to your calf or your Achilles. These targets basically help pull you deeper into your stretched position. And once you understand the mechanism, you don't necessarily need to use the targets anymore. You can pull yourself into those positions using your own muscles. So All these active methods sound great, right? We're all gonna run out and start unlocking our splits. Well, we should understand that some methods are going to work better for some people, and you need to experiment and see what really connects with your body the most. What I've found is that the stiffer you are, the more you're gonna wanna experiment with different techniques. You never know what's gonna cause that aha moment and allow you to release some tension or deepen some range of motion. You also have to understand that when using active techniques, it causes a lot more fatigue to your system, your muscles and your nervous system. Think of it more as strength training. If you just did some loaded pancake stretching, your legs might be a little wobbly. You don't want to go do heavy back squats after that. You need proper amount of recovery time. Now, also the really cool thing with these active techniques is a lot of the time you can see instant progress within a session. With that being said, it doesn't mean that that progress is gonna stick around forever. You'll probably have to keep coming back and be consistent in using certain techniques to get the long-term results. And lastly, a quick note on stretching selection. Even though these techniques will enhance the effectiveness of your stretching, you need to be real with yourself. For example, if you can't get your chest in front of your hips on a pancake stretch, then you should probably be regressing your stretching selection and working on stretching out your hamstrings, your lower back, your inner thighs in isolation. But the cool part is you can still use all of the techniques that we talked about in this video with those other stretches. Then you can gradually build yourself into that fuller position. Trust me, flexibility takes time. You wouldn't expect to add 200 pounds to your squat within a week. The same goes for stretching. There's no miracles. You have to be consistent, you have to put in the time. So there's definitely more stretching techniques out there. These are just the ones that I've used most over the years and that I feel inspired to share with you guys. But I'd love to hear what methods have helped you guys unlock more mobility in your body. And of course, if you have any specific stretching questions, pop those in a comment below and I'll do my best to answer. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to StrengthSide. We do videos every single Friday, as always.